Hello! So for the final video, I'm going to be talking about the evaluation of, or just the overall review of working on Moonlight and performing Moonlight. And I'll do it so it's like some pros or some reflection, like kind of pros and cons, or pros and cons, but sort of just like going like that really worked, and then bits that were just like didn't work as well, but then we amended, and then it was so it was a very interesting play to work on when I first read it. I'd never quite read anything like that before. One that was, I'd read things that were just sort of, okay, for example, something like a Sarah Kane play. I'd read one of them, and that makes your skin crawl, and it just makes you feel so many emotions in so many different ways. But with Moonlight, that was it was reading something that was obviously based on truth, as in it historically, but also the kind of reading it and looking at it and kind of going, now how are we gonna do that? That being said, that's what for me personally attracted me to the play so much, was the fact that it was something new that I hadn't really seen or read before, as in I've not seen anything that kind of like in certain areas, and but then, because I think as well is that between us, or we wanted something where we just done Unheard, and that was very devised and episodic, and it was like all very very in what we thought as our version of something that was very postmodern. This Moonlight is also a very, I think, a postmodern play, because it reflects on, or it even though it's saying what happened or what would have happened historically, I feel like there are so many parts that can just be adjusted, but can literally be put on and looked at by something that's happening today, in the present, and compared to, even though it was written, well, I suppose that's hence the reason why, is because it wasn't actually written way back when. It's current, and therefore, but it's writing about something that would have and could have and probably did happen a lot, and then it's just sort of been like flips. Anyway, so slight side note. So yeah, we just done Unheard, and we wanted something that was a little bit more structured, in a way that we were hoping for like some characters, little bit of just a bit of bit more structure, and obviously was on a script, so because we read one of the options that Karen gave us, was a brilliant play, but compared to Moonlight, we wanted something that had like a little bit more structure, and the names of characters, whereas the other one, it was all it was scripted, but they had no like kind of direct names. So I think we wanted a little something that like had those names, had those characters, and had that story and the development of like you could really like dig your teeth into it and unveil like all these different subtexts and characters. So that definitely, and I have to say that like that felt like we achieved that as an ensemble, because we were able to kind of find the subtext and develop those characters and work on the acting side, but also as an ensemble as well. It felt like a really strong ensemble piece, and that's probably been one of my favourite parts of Moonlight, is because even though it's very, I think if somebody was to just first read it, be like, oh well, Moonlight's the main character, and that's it, where in actual fact Moonlight is such a key part, but it's also the fact that what she brings with it is this group of group of ladies, and then that's thing being said is that she felt so it more like was so included in the whole thing as well. It wasn't like it was just felt like a really solid, strong ensemble piece, and everybody was just absolutely amazing to work with. It was just like, oh, so good. And because I mean it was great. Like the timing was where we weren't given ages to work on it as well. I think that's shorter amount of time helped because it kept us on our toes and we were just there like rehearsing and going, and therefore at the end when the performance came, it was everybody was just it felt like we were ready to go. It didn't feel over rehearsed. So yeah, that's some of the positives there. Like I've said, I touched on this a little bit in previous videos. Touched on it in previous videos, and so it's a little sort of self-reflection and a little like not negative, but like a little bit of improvement would be when rehearsing is like the feeling a little bit like I'd lost who the character was, and what I was saying was just like kind of just reading it over and over, and it was just felt like there wasn't any kind of emotion to it. But then that's a personal thing, and then it was just like kind of actually learning the lines and then finding the character again, but kind of just realizing what they'd done by just actually like just persisting with it, but not overdoing it, I think is what happened. I especially think that I did that a little bit for myself, not overall as the time went on, but like for me it was kind of just like going over and over and over again. It just felt like it wasn't hitting the same way as it did before, or did at the end. There was definitely a point where I was just, it was like that middle section of rehearsals when I was just sort of thinking like, is this right? And I think I was just going over things too much and thinking of just too many ways to do things, but then actually it was just like this is it, this is the performance, and then just doing it, and then it was lovely to, and that, so replaying that bit again, it was lovely to work with a group of people who were so supportive and just again could bounce ideas off of, and that's why it also felt like such a strong ensemble piece, because we were all there to help each other develop their performance, their characters, but also as a performance as a whole together, because it's, we didn't want for anybody to feel like they were it was just really nice because everybody was just so like lovely and supportive, and it was, but that being said is that where having that support was more so shown in the fact that when somebody did do something that perhaps, or did perform in a way that, or rehearse in a way that we felt like it was could be taken further or could be changed a bit, is that we were able to say that, we were able to do that because nobody was gonna take it the wrong way, and it didn't, neither was it meant in like in a really like mer way. It was nice because we were just able to be like, hey, you could try this, you could do that, you could do that, you could do the other, and I got a lot of that for me, as in with my performances, that really helped because everybody was just like, try doing this, see how that feels, try a bit of that, do a bit of that, and I did, and it really 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 helped, because it was just like it was so good to have other people's perspective on that as performers with each other, but also as an audience as watching and seeing what they would see. So that was great. So it's kind of a little personal negative that was turned into a positive at the end by the ensemble and by everyone else, and so where does we also had a discussion about what would happen after the performance, or what would happen after what the audience had seen, where would it have gone after that in the tomb, as in what would the characters have done. And we came to a bit of a mixed bunch of, it could have been like they just would have all kind of eventually not been able to eat anymore and then died. Or the other option was that certain characters would kind of be a little bit more animal instincts would sort of kick in a little bit more so, and you know, because when you're trapped in, and I've put a little bit of research on there about cabin fever, it's like when you're trapped in somewhere for so long, things do change mentally, especially when obviously if for these ladies in the tomb, I think some of them especially, more animal instincts would kick in more than others, and they would think, actually no, I need food, I need water, and I need to survive, right? But because of that as well, it's that's one side of things, but the other side is looking at them as a group of people, and how would they let that actually take over, or would they be the group and the unit that they were and stick by each other and not let that happen to one another, and they would just, you know, they wouldn't kill each other at all, or how else they would go about it. So yeah, it was a really interesting play to work on. I absolutely loved working on Pure Joy, and the performance was, I feel like the performance came out really, really, really well, really strong. And yeah, can't wait for the next one, if I'm honest. It's gonna be good. Bye.